go.
Okay.
Look, when I call my phone and I mess it up.
I know.
You want to do the DJ thing there, Miss Purple?
Oh, we need to put these things on.
So you can hear yourself think.
I was messing up my earrings now.
It sound good though.
I hear myself. It's weird.
Let's see, maybe turn it down so I heard some feedback. I won't need that in there. That's that well. Okay, then. Check. You hear that Barry White voice? Okay, I guess there's a go. Trying to get this thing to stay put.
Maybe the more you pull it back.
Pull it
No?
back.
Oh, okay.
You said pull it back.
You might know a little something.
A little something.
This way.
Alright, here we go. Ready? Ready?
Yep.
Alright, check 1, 2. This is the first edition of DJ B1 playing the funds for our radio. We got some special guests, sisters from the Nation of Islam representing. How y'all doing today?
Doing well. I saw Malake.
Fine, sir. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Hey, I like that. She's cool. And I heard y'all just got back from Chicago. Tell me about that trip.
Yes, we traveled to St. Charles, Illinois this past weekend for our annual martial arts training seminar, and it was, as the young people say, it was lit.
Okay.
It was lit. It was good. We not a lot of sleep, but it was a good tire. We learned everything from bomb detection to martial arts on the mat, and we learned from grandmasters from all over.
Okay.
Not just from Chicago, not just from the Nation of Islam, black, white, Jamaican. We had a sensei there from Barbados.
Okay. Capoeira?
Was it capoeira that he was doing?
I'm not sure.
It was in the Sanukas rule system.
Okay.
Yes, but it was,
I'm about to Google that. Maybe some movies.
yes,
That's what I kind of know.
yes. It was awesome.
So
It was awesome.
It was like on the ground, you know, like somebody got you in certain position and type of fighting, or
Some of it, most of it was really takedowns, locks, a lot of throwing, but not too much of getting down on the ground.
oh, okay.
We want to eliminate the threat and get out the way.
Oh, so before you even get there,
Yeah, we not playing no game.
so you did your thing too, there, sister.
I learned a few moves.
Two moves.
I enjoyed mostly watching because to actually see people do the takedowns and the different moves, I feel like you learn more that way because you get to not only witness the exact technique, but you can also see how much dedication and time it actually takes into the actual move because it takes more practice to actually get it than to just try it yourself.
Right.
About you, Mama?
Efficiency.
You did your thing too.
Yes. Some stuff I knew and some stuff I didn't. So it was like brand new to me. It was everything like martial arts, art, all of that type of stuff in that category. So I had a fun time.
So you actually went to work. What kind of work? A little bit, I guess.
Yes, it was fun, but it was, I don't want to say draining.
It's hard work. Let's put
It
that
was
way.
hard work. Early mornings, late nights. We had a lot of ground to cover.
Yes.
So
So what's a typical morning like from when you wake up and then what you do right after that?
okay, so if you're familiar with our events at the Nation of Islam, when you come into our events, there's always a check procedure.
Okay.
So
Right.
we train, the brothers and the sisters are trained on how to effectively carry out the check procedure. Well, when we come to these trainings now, we have what we call a check certification.
Right.
So we have to certify that you know what you're doing, that you know how to handle the people, because we don't want our people to come into our events or the mosque and feel like they just had a police design pat down.
Oh yeah.
But we do want to ensure that our events are safe and that, you know, you don't-
mindset somebody
you
might walk up in
never,
there.
Exactly. So we have to not only teach in our own cities, but then we come together with a one certified way for everybody to take it back to their cities and practice and train on how to check.
Right.
So that was what 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Started out there, get to come back, breathe a little bit, then we come back, and we're in classroom setting all day. Friday was an all day classroom setting. Later on Friday night, we had some mat time. Saturday morning, back at the certification, go back, relax a little bit, come back, and we on the mat all day long.
Then that lasted how long? What time? Like
It went probably to about 6 o'clock. 5 or 6 o'clock on Saturday. Maybe about 8 on Friday. But the highlight for most of us is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan came to the martial arts demonstration on Saturday.
Oh, okay. So that was like
That was dope.
the big
Yes. That was awesome. He came. He was there for all the senseis and grandmasters demonstrations. It was just everything, and then he spoke. He actually spoke for a little bit. And as he does for all the years I've been going, I think this is my 5th or 6th year attending the training. And he always speaks to us. He always talks about the importance of us training,
right.
The importance of learning how to defend yourselves, especially for us as women.
Yeah.
We seem to be away from the black man. We're the most targeted,
yep.
Group of individuals. So there's no sparing us on the mat. We catch them elbows, we catch those gut punches just like everybody else.
Fake, move. It's got to be like an actual.
It's real.
Genuine.
Yeah.
Yes, it's exactly genuine.
Sore.
We need to feel it because when you're out on the street and you're facing that attack, the attacker's not gonna say, okay, wait. Get ready for that. Okay, I'm gonna hit you soft. But for women, one thing we don't really understand is we have a number one advantage because we're women. So when a man comes to attack you, his thought is, she's just a woman. It's it's not gonna take much to do this, that, and the other. All I gotta do is hit her one time until that hit gets blocked, and then you catch that elbow to the nose. Then it's a different story.
Right.
So it's good because my daughter is 10. They had children that was 4 and 5 on not only on the mats but belting, yellow, green.
They breaking balls with their head and stuff like that.
No games. It was just very inspiring.
Right.
Very inspiring. We're gonna upload some pictures too to our social media so that everybody can see. But it can be a little overwhelming because it's this big ballroom full of mats and a whole bunch of people. But I think that's the best part of it too. Yeah. All at the same time, having everybody there, everybody's practicing the same move, and the senseis and the black belts are going around and seeing who needs help and just making sure that you're actually getting it, because they give us a lot. Right. They give us a lot, and the goal is if you can walk away with at least 1 or 2 moves out of the 20 or 30 that you see, then it was worth it.
Because the way it is nowadays, you just need maybe 1 or 2 to just get loose.
Listen, I got a favorite move. But
It's beautiful to see the different ages that are there. Yes. Like she was saying, there's children from maybe 3 or 4 all the way up to older sisters who are maybe in their 50s, 60s that are practicing and learning different things, because it's never too early to start training to protect yourself. It's always important to learn, and not even just the martial arts, but we have different workshops for the youth as well, from ages 10 and up. There's some that come a little younger, and it's always good to just learn information, whether it's to help you protect yourself or to understand health and wellness, to understand entrepreneurship strategies. There's different things that we teach at the training that help to benefit you as a person and individual, because it's never too early in someone's life to actually say, hey, I need to improve myself.
Mhm.
I need to get my life together.
That's right.
So that way I can live a happy life and not have to worry about can I protect myself, or how can I provide for myself in the future? What do I need to do to grow and be successful? And these are different things that the training does teach. At different times of the day, you find a workshop that is for you, but there's always something to learn. And I think that it's beautiful to see that different people are willing to learn, because you have a lot of people today that don't think they need more information. They think I got it.
Then they got everything. Watching on YouTube and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But you can never get enough information. As you can improve yourself and teach yourself more in the future, then you just help yourself grow as a person, because no one is perfect. And the more that you apply these skills, the more of a master you can become, whether it's in martial arts or how to get a job. So I think it's very, very important to, come to these trainings.
Yes, life skills. We even had a training, disaster preparedness, in lieu of what happened in Katrina. And we're watching the weather all over. We're seeing, how really the weather systems is taking a lot of these cities and towns and places out. And most of us don't know that we should have 6 months worth of food supply in our homes, that we should have candles and flashlights and batteries, and get extra refills of your medication, because you're not going to be able to get out of your home to get to the store and refill your medication. These are things that we are learning so that we can come back and teach the people in our community how to can. The sisters, we went on a canning campaign a few months back, and I mean, just being able to take the dried navy bean and cook it and put it in a jar and preserve for a year or two. And you can open this jar up and eat it. Even if I don't have heat in my home, if the lights and the power go out, although I have cooking apparatuses, because we're taught how to store the proper machines that we need to be able to cook, even if there's no power in our home. But if I didn't have those things, I could just open up a jar of green beans or open up a jar of navy beans and eat it. And we would pickles. This one, let me tell you something. We was canning those pickles, those cucumbers that went and turned into pickles, and we don't have near pickle jar on the shelf because of somebody. No names to be mentioned. But it was so much information, but it was good information. So we had the disaster preparedness. We touched on how to deal with a gunshot wound. In our communities, we in the school. Let me tell you something. Even in the schools, our children are coming to school and getting shot and killed in the school. We just had the shooting here at the UNC Charlotte, and they were teaching our babies how to apply pressure, how to use a tourniquet, how to look for an entry and exit wound. These are things, unfortunately, this is the dynamics of our community. This is what it's become.
So do they show like the actual, like, like somebody actually getting shot and then knowing what to do after that, as far as
It's well, for them it's more PG-13.
Okay.
Yes. They even had classes for them talking about the sex trafficking and how CPR, but how to not be by yourself. How to identify when somebody's following you, not to be walking down the street on your phone and not being aware of your surroundings, because sex trafficking and organ trafficking is big money and major dynamics. So they was getting them ready.
So you know how to say if I get shot in the shoulder, you know how to take the bullet out and all that good stuff.
I'm learning. Not already.
She like, I'm not gonna take no bullet out, but
I may help take a bullet out.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it myself.
Just don't let me bleed to death.
All right.
Don't let me bleed to death.
But it's good information, and I'm all for women empowerment,
Yes.
but I'm all for community.
That's why I have y'all here.
Yes, but I'm all for community development. So I'm not, the woman power lady that negates the power of the man in our community, because that's first and foremost. My power only comes after the man, and the man in the house, the man in our community. We want our men to stand up and defend us and take care and maintain, but when that fails, or if there's any breakdown in that, we got to be able to maintain. Mothers are the first teachers,
Yes.
so it's important, as women who have sons and daughters, you definitely want to educate yourself so that you can educate your children, so that that's where it really starts. When you're talking about community building, it starts with mom.
Right.
It starts with the woman. You wait till these boys and these girls get 19 and 20 and then start talking about how to build a better community. No, it's
I won't say it's too late, but it's you got one half the body out the door.
That's right. And you know how my mom would say, oh, they're a little older, they're a little set in their ways. They're a little set in their ways at that point. So you want to get them when they're impressionable. You want to get them when they're younger, and try to impress upon them the importance of taking care of your sister, taking care of your mother, how to cook. Don't not being that woman or that mother when they get older that's eating at McDonald's 5 days a week. My children, we all like to eat out now, but one thing they can tell you is they mama cook.
Oh yeah.
They got to make a conscious decision to I want this today, but there's some cooked food at home.
Okay.
My husband come home to a cooked meal.
Hey.
And so it's
I like a good biscuit.
Yeah. So
You know.
yes, so it's important that we teach and we train them at this age, and then you have young sisters like Sister Nadira, and then Kiyama at 10. Sister Nadira 17. She's getting ready to go away to college, and she good sense. Yeah. I mean, responsible. Yes.
And told me her age, but I was like, she don't seem like she.
Yeah, 17.
Like
yes.
27.
Yes. And actually she'll be 17 tomorrow.
17. 17.
Yes.
Well, happy soon to be birthday.
Thank you.
So, but yes, that training was everything. It was awesome. Like I said, the highlight was seeing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and even in his speech to the people, he was talking about responsibility. He was talking about how to become a master. You have to be a good student in order to become a good master, and to be able to teach, and not learning or teaching for vain purposes, and how not to hide your talents, how not to be envious of somebody else's talents, that the God may put a cover over your own. So it was, after all that physical training, then we came through, and the minister capped it off with the spirituality aspect of it. So it was life. We were full.
So I want to ask you this while you have you here. Like, where did it start going bad for us? Like when say men from the 50s and 60s stopped really protecting women like they should have been. That like what dynamic kind of happened? Like they kind of like stop getting us, put some brakes on that, and make it to where there's like a battle between the man and the woman, especially black man and woman during those times. Like, cause I look at the pictures like from the 50s and 40s, like they got that sister right there.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Then like as the years, the decades went by, I kind of got kind of separated from that. There's like a dynamic that kind of
began to change.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I would say that the breaking of that family dynamic started way before then.
Okay.
It started before when we were held captive, when we were slaves. The minister teaches us that the slave master began breaking the family dynamic, began to take the confidence that the black woman had of the black man away, in taking that strong husband and hanging him up in front of his wife and his children, and whipping him and beating him, unmercifully, where he would have to beg and beg for his life, and in front of his wife and his children, or taking the woman now into a room and raping the woman, and he dare not say anything, because now he fears losing his life. So fear began to be put into us back from that dynamic. And we're also taught in our lessons, we say that we fear. Which is what it is. That's why you'll have a lot of you'll see the Police do all kind of things to our brothers, to our women, to women now.
Yeah.
In the street, this excessive force, you see each other. We do it to each other. Excessive force, unnecessary things, and then you'll see us videotaping.
Yeah.
Versus
instead
of jumping in and helping. It's a fear. We think that, if I grab my camera and I can show the world later I did my part. But it's not. And the minister teaches us, even if we have to call on to God and lose our life in defending our brother or defending our sister, then that's what it is. What better way to go?
Yeah.
So that's what we hold to our heart. So back to your question. It started way before then. Yes. And even now, it's still the breaking of the male, the breaking of the female. It's still going on when we see the police officers come grab our children up and say, "Oh, he was resisting." And when you see the video, it's just they don't even have a chance to follow the directives before shots is ringing out. And so this is all a part of that process. So we as a community, number one, to start taking that fear away, we have to start policing our own communities. We have to eliminate the extra entity. That's number one. Number two, we have to teach our sons and daughters how to defend themselves, because we're clear that most of our crime is black on black crime. We're clear that it's not always a white man coming in to Hidden Valley or some of these other dynamics communities in Charlotte and killing us. We're clear on that. So we have to, like I said, start teaching our children from young ages. We have to go into the community. Those of us who know, those of us who are striving to do better, then we have each one teach one. And that's the only way we're gonna break the fear. We have to put the black man and the black woman back in their right role. The woman has had to be the mother and the father in the household. The woman has had to be the man and the woman. And trust me, I don't desire to be a man at.
Hey, I don't want to be a woman.
Listen.
I don't want no part of that childbirth stuff.
Exactly.
I don't want no part of that at all anyway.
It's the thought process is, if you're a militant black woman, then you want to be a man. You're so male chauvinistic. No, I have no desire to take anything away from the black man. I love to see my black brothers doing exactly what it is that they're supposed to do, which is being the maintainers and the fathers and the husbands and standing up in their community and just taking charge. That's what we want them to do. But behind every great man is a great woman. So now we have to qualify the black woman. Now we have to restore back to her what her proper role is. It's not barefoot in the kitchen and cooking. That's not what we are. We're teachers. We're mothers. I mean, I was in classrooms with young sisters who 19, 17, 20, they're in law school. Sisters that are just graduating school, they're doctors. These sisters are nurses. They're mothers. They're, we're educators. Even if no college background, they still, some of them open up their mouth and speak, and you swear they was a professor at somebody's university. So it doesn't mean just being a baby making machine and staying in the house and just letting the man go out. No, it just means helping to cultivate our community in a different way. Teaching our children, allowing the man to be the man in the household. All these dynamics is what will would help us on the way to restoring the black family to where it used to be. What you were saying about how we saw the brothers and the sisters, it just, they seem so happy in those pictures, and having a good time. And that's not something that we see a lot of.
I noticed I told a lot of people, I was doing an interview with the ladies from the Enough of the Nation. A lot of them was thinking you guys were like the Muslims, where the women just be in the back.
Right.
Everything covered up.
Right.
Not saying nothing.
Right.
Y'all don't know. Y'all know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about,
Right. Yes,
when
sir.
they hear the word Islam, they automatically thinking, man walking in front.
That's right. And very, yes.
Y'all don't know
No, that's not our
nice.
dynamic. That is so not our dynamic, and I love it. You know, we are passive. We are
Don't run up on me.
dainty but deadly. Don't do it. Don't do it. But you know, I love it. I love it because when you see us, you would not think that about us.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about it. It's like the best kept secret.
Yeah.
You know, because that's not what we are. We're not just fighters. We're not just martial artists. You know, we are defenders, but it's a whole lot deeper than that. And no, we're not inferior to our men, but we do respect who and what they are. We do respect the God in them as they respect the goddess in us. You know, so you know, as they would say in the street, real recognize real.
Yeah.
You know, it's just respect. It's respect. So I'm not trying to tell my husband how to do his job because that's his job.
Right.
He ain't trying to tell me how to do mine because that's mine. So we stay in our lanes, but it's a blessing. No, we are not inferior to the men, but we do allow them to be the man. That's what we want. I mean, I don't know what would be wrong with any woman that would have a problem with that.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure y'all don't want to get up on the car and try
No. Now I can.
I got a feeling
But
you say something like that, but yeah.
I can, but I don't need to because I have my oldest son is 19 years old. I have a 17-year-old. I have a 16-year-old.
You got a 19-year-old.
Listen, this boy about to be 20.
Your baby hairs is popping.
Okay.
Baby hairs is crazy.
So, you know, I shouldn't have to do those things, you know, and I don't. Between them and their father, let them do what they have to do. But she's learning how to change a tire because daddy's not always around. Your brothers is not always around. And what we not going to do is sit on the side of the road crying. No, we're not going to do that.
For some reason, I don't see her doing that.
No.
I think it
I don't see
helps.
her being weak or nothing.
Yeah, gotta learn.
I know her a little bit, but I already know she ain't no.
Yes. No. Very independent, but not independent to the point where you feel like, oh, we don't need a man. No, that's not the case. But if he's not around, then hey, I'm good.
Because I think we're students. You have to learn how to do things for yourself.
That's right.
Even because we're not, I always am taught that, make Allah sufficient for you, make God sufficient for you. You don't need anybody else but Him and yourself. However, if there are other people around, then, that's great.
Right.
But as students, you have to be willing to learn and educate yourself to do things for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, who's going to do it for you?
That's right.
We don't always have the luxury to have people on that have our back in every situation. So whether it is to protect yourself or to change a tire, it's beneficial to want to learn to do that for yourself. And that's one of the things that the nation has taught me is that no matter what I want to do, I have to be willing to get it for myself because no one's going to do it for me. Nothing just comes easily. And to do for self is something that I'm proud to want to do because to say that I can do something on my own makes me feel like kind of empowered, that I have taken the steps to get to where I am, whether it's graduating or whether it's getting a job, whether it's sewing or cooking, something that I learned to do on my own with the help of God. But the fact that it's important that as women that we decide to take these steps to do for ourselves because no one is going to just hand anything to us in life. And if you don't have
like when they
exactly.
No.
Exactly. So it's beautiful that we have classes in the nation that teach us how to cook, how to sew, how to take care of our home and our children and our husbands because I think that's the best type of person to be is someone who knows how to do that stuff because it makes you stronger. It makes you know no matter what happens that I'm going to be okay and not many people can say that.
That's right.
So what things you learned up to now to when you first this your daughter?
No.
Okay, I understand. But what's some things you learned that you found like you can like do all the time? Like you can like changing the tire or getting up under the hood, getting dirty and stuff, or anything. Could be what you learn.
Some of the things I've learned. Well, cooking.
Right.
Definitely learned how to do a little sewing. Martial arts. Speaking is something that I've learned, whether a little bit in the mosque, but also at school. Being able to get in front of people, say what I have to say, and be confident in what I am saying. School has always come easy to me. Getting good grades, learning, educating myself. But I think definitely it's not a huge thing, but to me it is being able to talk to people, whether it's my classmates or whether it's adults, being able to say what I have to say and not feel like I can't be heard because I'm a girl or because I'm younger. The nation has definitely given me that strength and comfort to know that I am going to be heard if I want to be, and that I can do anything that I want to do. Education wise, as someone who's trying to become an engineer, the nation has definitely encouraged me to continue learning and to continue going stronger in math and science and different aspects like that. But a lot of people don't, but it's encouraged me to do so that way when I got to high school in the 9th grade, I was 2 years ahead in math. So I was encouraged to do that, not just because my mom is a teacher, but because the Islam has taught me that it's best to be ahead, it's best to learn and educate yourself rather to just go with the flow of things. Why sit back and be uneducated about the things in your life when there's so much out there to learn, especially with the internet? There's so much things in life that I don't know. There's things about Islam that I don't know, but I plan on learning it because I want to be the best at what I can do. And I think that's what the nation helps me to do, is be the best in everything, whether it's school, whether it's cooking, cleaning, is that there's always something to do and to improve on. And that's what I strive to do, and that's what I don't ever say I'm skilled at something, but I just say I'm working on being better at it.
Yes.
Kind of like a jack of all trades.
Yes, that's what I strive to do.
Yes.
How about you, Elizabeth? What you learned?
Well, I am able to pop that hood. I'm able to cook a couple of meals. You know, if my mom's not feeling like it, you have to be able to do that stuff because you have to be able to provide for yourself. I've learned how to sew. I've learned how to do a whole bunch of things that you wouldn't be able to learn on a regular day basis. So, like, let's say, like Dara said, engineering. We learned engineering at the national training. They had us build a play set, which was hard to do, but we learned.
Good play set.
Yes, for toddlers at the NUI. We have our own school. And, yeah, so we're learning.
Play set.
Yep.
It's the activity and one of the portions of the training. Well, there's a from ages, I believe it's around 10 and to 20. They have different workshops catered to young people to encourage them to either go out in the community, go into like the STEM field, to learn about entrepreneurship and martial arts as well. And one of the activities was to build a play set out of cardboard, different tools and equipment, tape, glue, sticks, and you had to put it together, and you had to do your best to actually make it to be used by either most likely the smallest person because it could hold their weight. So our team made like this little slide out of cardboard, glue.
Yes.
But our team
at the end of the day, but
yeah,
the project
it might collapse. But our team won because it was the most realistic to a toddler's playset, and it did work.
Okay, I think I get it now. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
like using unconventional means of making something
Right.
out of nothing.
yes.
Right.
So
Right.
it just makes you challenge yourself. You have to design it, create it, and no one but your team can help you. So it's good for teamwork and building those skills, but it also helps you, think of math and trying to see how can I put this together without it falling apart.
Right.
Is this sturdy? So it definitely is challenging, but it's encouraging and builds your intelligence as well.
That's something I want to ask you as well. You being a teenager. I remember being a teenager. It was a little while ago, but I won't get into that. But I do know. Do you go to like public school?
Yes, sir.
What do people say or react when you tell them, you know, with the nation or what? I know sometimes people think it's like a cult or that it's probably like
Right.
you're gonna blow yourself up.
I
All this kind of stuff, and, you know.
Well, growing up, luckily I didn't have that many issues with telling people that I was Muslim. They mostly accepted me. However, of course, you get the occasional, what is this, or, you know, who is that, especially if it comes up in a textbook, because occasionally it does, and it's, but I always just answer, it promotes the improvement of Black people.
Yeah.
I think that for me is just the easiest way to explain it to my peers. Mostly because I go to a school that is predominantly Black.
Okay.
So it is easier for me to just say it's for the benefit of our people. Because a lot of people think, oh, there's a cult, or I don't know what they're talking about. And it's easier for me to explain it that way, but also because I can show them my growth as a person and as a Black woman in America, how the nation has benefited me in that way.
Right.
And I think once they see who I am as a person, then they kind of think more positively on the nation.
Right.
Because, you know, when I do go to school, I am a little different from everybody else.
Yeah.
I have been able to blend in a little bit more, but, you know, I dress a little different. I may talk a little different. But mostly my teachers, before they even know I may be Muslim or that I am in the nation, they know I'm different just because of how I act and how I think.
You move different.
Yes, and that's what the nation has given me. I think differently, and I think that's what they see. And I want them to, I rather them see that than try to assume what the nation is. It's better to show them living proof of how it's benefited my life, to say, this is good, you know. It's not making me weak-minded. I don't hate people.
Right.
You know, if anything.
People don't debate you, though, do they?
No.
Right.
Not really. They've
Let
tried.
me take my earrings off.
I've beaten my debate teacher in a debate once or twice. But it's just empowering to know that it's only made me a better person.
Right.
So not too many people, if they have said anything bad, I can easily just show them that this is a positive outcome of the Nation of Islam.
And it's good, because I know when I was in school, and
A couple years ago.
just a couple.
Yeah.
Just a couple. I remember when I was growing up in school, you know, and that question came up, oh, well, you're a Muslim, you know, they would see, like she said, the way we act is a little different. You know, when your mom is coming to your conference or your talent show, because I used to sing just a little bit. And she would come, and she would come looking like this, and it was like, wow, what is that? You know, that's how. Yeah.
It's coming bright orange. I'm like, okay. Everybody's like, that's your mom.
Right.
So you know, it was always a good feeling, like, because people wanted to know more. What is that? What is it that they do? What is being a Muslim? It didn't take really a turn, I feel, until 9/11. Then it became more of a
They were Muslim. They already thinking.
That's it, right? With all the media hype about what Islam was, people just really don't know. Some people still really don't know what Islam is and what it represents. And you know, I feel that the media, the social media, these different platforms help to promote something really ugly. You know, as it relates to what Islam really is. And I think that's where it began to take a turn, but slowly but surely, you know, I think that.
But they always say Muslim terrorists.
Right.
Muslim terrorists.
Right.
Muslim terrorists. Like,
Right.
You hear the same thing.
Why gotta be the same? Why you gotta put that name in there?
Right. They're just terrorists. You know, we don't say Christian terrorists. We don't.
No.
The guy that went to the Olympics that year and set the bombs over, and say, oh, he's Christian terrorist. You know, he's just a terrorist.
They never say that about the Ku Klux Klan. They just say,
Oh no,
you know,
yeah, it's this organization.
yeah,
It's an organization.
yeah.
You know,
Organization.
right? So you know, I like Nadira was saying about us being students and about Islam. Islam really is just peace, and the best part about being a student is you get to learn. Allah helps those who helps themselves. So we can't help. I can't help Nadira. I can't help DJ B1 until I help Kimberly. I can't be the best mother that I can be until I help myself first. And so that's the blessing, and that's the part of our teaching in the Nation of Islam. So as we're going out and we're trying to help those in the community, you know, we come from that same dynamic. I didn't just. I'm born and raised in Harlem, New York.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Getting crazy.
125th Street.
Ooh,
You
right
know,
there, that's
the heart.
Yeah.
That's the heart of it. I mean, I had to walk by the winos, and I had to walk by the dope head on the corner. I had to see that. I had to see the homeless in the city is totally different from, I feel homeless here is it's a little different. Some of these homeless people got cell phones. You know, it's a little different.
Yeah.
From when I was growing up, you know. But we had to live that life. We didn't live in lavish homes. You know, the mouse ran across the floor in my apartment like it ran across in the rest of the apartments in the home. Not because we were nasty, or it's just the dynamics of our living conditions. So, but in Islam, it teaches us to do better and to live better. And so as my parents came into the Nation of Islam, we didn't live in those conditions long. My father did whatever he had to do to get us out of that dynamic. No, he didn't move us into the white community for us to live better, but he knew where to put us to bring us out of those kind of conditions. And so, you know, it's just so much to being a Muslim. It's so much positivity that I get out of it personally. I'm 40 years old, and so I've been in the nation since birth. You know, and I don't want to say is that I don't know anything else, because I had to make a choice. I had to make a decision at a certain age whether I wanted to do this for myself. You don't just automatically get to stay in this thing just because you came into it at birth. You have to make a decision to join for yourself, and I made that decision. My attracting factor for me was the young women. They called the young women in the Nation of Islam Vanguard.
Okay.
Yes, so you have the MGT.
That sounds tough.
Yes. you have the MGT as a whole, and then you have the Vanguard class, which is MGT GCC Vanguard. Yes, we're still MGT. We're all MGT. But it was a little something different about that class that really attracted me. First of all, they were the ones that was doing martial arts. I was like, oh yeah, I want some of that. I want some of that. And they were doing, I don't want to say extra, but they were the ones that were out in the community more so than the older women, the younger women, the Vanguard class. They were doing the soup kitchens. They were, feeding the homeless and doing coat drives and, teaching, doing these STEM programs and these outreach programs with the younger girls. And at Kiama's age, they were teaching them the same things that they were learning, so that when they got ready to make the transition at 16 years old, they were already coming into it knowing. It wasn't like an unknown for them. And they were just awesome. They just walked, all of them were just 6 feet tall to me. They looked good. They didn't look oppressed.
I haven't seen an ugly lady from the Islam nowhere.
Well, praise be to Allah.
I'm just saying, I'm like, they all bad.
Praise be to Allah.
They got the prettiest skin. I know y'all.
Praise be to Allah.
You had a lot of things you probably eat, put on your face or whatever.
It's
ain't seen acne nowhere. Ain't seen
eating right.
It's right.
No tooth missing nothing.
How to eat to live.
Yeah,
but tapping into that God within and staying connected to the Most High. Understanding, like Sister Nadira said, that Allah is God and that He is sufficient for us in all of our needs, is what helps. But those women, those vanguard, and her mom was one. That she's actually her mom was in the mosque, Muhammad's mosque number 7, when I was Kiama's age, younger than
Number
Kiama.
7 is
New York.
in New York.
In New York,
Is
yes.
that like the main, like the main of all, like the.
No.
That's not number 1. Number 7.
No.
But
Right. So number 1 is in Detroit, but our headquarters is in Chicago. That's number 2.
Oh, okay, got it.
That's our headquarters.
Okay.
But her mother was one of those sisters that I just looked at like, oh my God, they know how to do everything.
So
Everything, and that's what I aspired to be. That's what helped me to make the decision of coming and joining the Nation of Islam at the age of 16 for myself, because we weren't oppressed women. We didn't have to, when you think of Islam, like you said, some of the people think of oppressed, quiet. I mean, they're covered from head to toe, but they don't really look like they want to look like that.
Yeah.
They don't really look as good in it. Like, they just look like somebody just threw a sheet over them and said cover up, and get behind me.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing, don't look this way, go pray outside. We're gonna pray in here. These were dynamics in the Muslim community that, for me, had I not been in the Nation of Islam, I'd have been like, they can have that. I don't want that. But this Islam that we see today, the women, to me, even outside of the Nation of Islam, they seem happier.
Yeah.
They seem happier because they're learning Allah for themselves. It's just a difference from then to now. But I couldn't be anything other than an MGT in the Nation of Islam. It's just so empowering.
That's one thing I gravitated when I went to go pick up my bean pies with you. She got great bean pies. Let's tell her one thing. They're beast. But I do remember when I first went to 36, Muhammad 36.
Yes.
And everybody was like happy to see me,
Yes. Awesome.
I like the I always for the love. I was
awesome.
Enjoy the love I get from there. And I do think that most people should take upon the values as far as like the militaristic type. Like, say when I first got there, people like, hey, down there, brother, let me go ahead and pat you down. Like, okay, okay, you never heard nobody shooting up a mob.
No.
Or even getting close to even attempting one.
That's right.
But
That's right.
They always going up in the churches and, they go in there and do all their thing. But I think a lot of people should take some cues and learn some stuff from you guys and implement that into that system, because you ain't gonna run up in there.
Right. And what I love is when I travel, and we travel with the minister, and we go to, we are starting to see where a lot of other churches and they're starting to implement security. Their securities may not be like ours, but there is some kind of security measure. We went to DC to Reverend Willie Wilson's church. The minister was speaking, and they have like their own team. Like, they dress a certain kind of way, and they tough. They're tough. It was refreshing to see, because like it's just too much going on. When what is the little guy that walked into the church in Charleston, Dylan Roof. Yeah. Yes, and he would walk right in and just nobody, even at the mosque in where is it, New Zealand? Where the mosque that got shot up. They were at a masjid. It's somewhere outside of the country.
Is it the same kind of mosque?
No,
okay.
It definitely wasn't the Nation of Islam. They didn't have security measures in place, and he walked in and he just shot up all those Muslims. And that's you may get one or two.
No, you ain't getting nothing.
But by Allah's grace and permission, we definitely would not have that kind of dynamic in our setup. By Allah's grace and permission, because you have to protect that which you love.
You can't just you can't trust everybody come up in there.
That's right. This is not a spook religion. It's not spooky.
Yeah.
Yes, we believe in God, but we also believe in the God within.
Yeah.
And our God-given rights to protect our families and our children and each other. And That's just what it is.
So I love it because I remember going to Washington for the first time. I think it was that brother that was just here a few minutes ago, but he's at the door. That's why I think it looked familiar. I was like,
Okay.
it looked familiar, but he said, "Hey, hold on, brother, let me just pat you down real quick." I'm like,
Yes.
Hey. Cause we just get pat down, going to the club or whatever. They're gonna pat you down.
They're gonna pat you down, right? So why not?
Like, okay, yeah, do what you gotta do. Hey.
That's right.
Oh, don't worry about that, brother. Like,
That's right.
I got that no difference between a wallet and a gun. So
Yes, yeah, and the
it
good
makes sense.
the good thing is what people that's coming for the first time or our visitors see is that we all get checked. And so it's like, oh, okay, it's not just me because I'm not a Muslim, but
Just walking up in.
we all get checked.
Yeah.
From the highest ranking official to the guests that we have coming in. There's nobody in the mosque that doesn't get checked when they come into the mosque.
Make sure there's everybody, not just certain.
Every single body. That's right. Everybody. Even the people that's doing the checking got checked before they get on the post to do the checking.
So, the first one there, somebody got
Everybody
checked.
gets checked.
Everybody gets checked.
Even you sleeping in there, like,
Look,
nah, we gotta check it, bro.
Everybody gets checked. The mosque
Yeah.
has to be secured. Just as our homes. It's more than just the physical aspect of checking. It's checking the spirit. It's checking. Sometimes a person can come in there without a weapon, but be yes. And so we're teaching the brothers and sisters how to look for these things because mental illness, especially in our community, is really growing.
It's still been swept under the rug a lot. Too.
It is, but it's so relevant. It's so relevant, and we try our best to be able to detect these dynamics, as it comes in and out of the mosque. Absolutely.
Well, I think that's just about it there. I appreciate you guys coming through and hollering at a brother.
I appreciate you
Y'all
for having
really
us.
good, you know.
Praise be to Allah.
Anything you want to share with the people, like far as them delicious being you got?
Well, listen, I want to invite all the brothers and sisters that are under the sound of my voice to come visit us at Muhammad's Mosque number 36 at 203 North Cloudman Street, right off of Brookshire, right across from the QT gas station. Come and hear the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Learn how to protect your woman. Learn how to respect your woman. And black women, learn how to play your role in the family dynamic of the black family. Let's build our family. Let's build our community. Let's love and grow and prosper together.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was dope.
Praise be to Allah.
You should have did that from the top, but that's how you say it. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank
We
you.
out.
Thank you.
There it is.
That was great.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to do a couple more podcasts in my life.
I tell you what, I'm gonna be doing this thing for
I
a
love it.
while. So
I love it.
anything you want to come up here and talk about, bring the sister, bring itty bitty.
we
You can bring your pickle with you. We can chop it up.
That's all right. I
'Cause,
really appreciate it.
I hate to see the misconception that the women just don't say nothing. I'm like, I don't know. I know the women, they're gonna tell you what's up.
Yes.
So I'm like, nah, I got this. Got to be the first.
That
episode.
is so awesome.
Oh yeah.
That is
First.
so awesome. I love
Number
it.
one episode. I ain't gonna let nobody say that about y'all.
That's all right. That is all right. I hope that we did justice in representing what it is that we believe and what we love. I pray. And that,
And
it inspires.
I definitely wanted to touch on that the self-defense because that's something I think a lot of people don't know about is that they're not gonna run up on y'all like that. No,
it's the best kept secret. It is, but it is starting to get out there a little more
It
and
is,
more
okay.
and more with social media. Social media is such a powerful platform.
I think because you put a video up with a sister with a pole. She was like,
Oh yeah, she was killing it.
I'm like,
She was killing it.
was she in the Black Panther?
She was killing it. We got some sisters. I mean, they are. When we left Chicago, they were doing the testing. So those who were testing for their next belt were doing their testing on Sunday morning. We got some sisters that was testing for the black belt. They were testing for the red with the black stripe. I mean,
that's blood black belt, isn't it?
Right, right. They were doing some, but and then you got different systems. So you had some sisters doing Wing Chun. You had some sisters doing the Sanukas, which is what we do with
Isn't that African? No, there's one. I can't think of the name of it. Snookers is what?
Sanukas is
Russian.
Aikido,
Okay.
Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu. It's all in one.
Oh,
It's these different systems in one. Yes, it's a combination. And so that's our system because we venture into all of them because they help us in different dynamics. So, you know, you can brawl out and just do martial arts and defend yourself, but when we're in the mosque, if somebody was to come in and was a little touched and, you know, being a disturbance, we love our people. We're not trying to just beat our people down. So then you would switch over to another system that would allow you to lock them up real quick and just walk them out where they're safe, they're not getting harmed, and nobody else is being harmed. So we use the different systems for different dynamics.
That sounds like when my aunt was she's in the Navy.
Okay.
And I would be messing with her, you know. She messed around and took my pinky, and I was on the ground like a little dog barking, like, please let me up.
Yes.
My finger was like,
yes.
And she's like 5'1", 5'2".
Yeah.
And she said, we love tall people because y'all easy to grab. You know?
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
I ain't messing with you no more. But she had me on the ground looking silly.
But you know, Brother Stephen, he is Sifu.
Oh yes,
Yes.
yeah.
He's the one that has introduced the Wing Chun aspect to the sisters here in Charlotte. So a lot of the sisters aren't doing Wing Chun. That's an extra added bonus. But he is also trained in the Sanukas rules, so that's not his only style of martial arts. And he specialized in teaching women. He has his own story about why he's so pressed about the women's trainings, which is really awesome. His story. He have to share that with you one day.
Yeah,
but it's inspiring.
He sent me a message the other day. Want to get on? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know another group that has a podcast too, but they also do like the current event stuff.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to reach people that I know or who are like near me.
Okay.
Like local,
okay.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
And cause most anybody can. I understand like most like only if you're African liberation.
Yes.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
they do like the current events and
okay.
things abroad. And I wanted to touch on like the people who are here doing things.
Okay.
And using that page, I got 450,000 people follow me to give that to them so they can see it. And
that's awesome.
I got
Is that the person we heard on the radio?
No, this is the DJ that we saw when we went to Juneteenth.
Okay.
Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah. So y'all came during the summer when it was hot outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was hot.
And it was a party around 6 o'clock. You know what? The sun go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got up out of there.
I gotta take a picture with that.
Okay. Okay.
Take a picture.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This was so awesome.
It's still running. It is.